All right, so this is an interesting video, and I'd like to get the guy's perspective on it, okay?
The boys' perspective on what we're going to watch in this footage. I'm not even going to tell anybody what it's about. If you're watching this video now, you might know from the title, but let's play this video and just see. You'll know. Just play it.
This is to all my trans women out there. That you know that we deserve love. That we deserve such a pure love because we love so hard. And if you feel in your soul that man is not working.
Pause. Does anybody know what's going on here?
No idea.
Yeah. It's a dude looking for a dude.
That is not a female.
Dude looking for a dude who wants to be loved by another dude.
But listen to what he says about men, okay? Now, this is a man who has not... This is a man...
He's not a man.
This is...
That's a woman transition.
It's a trans woman.
Trans woman.
I'm not here to make fun of trans people.
Would you say, if you saw him, you'd be like, that's a man. That's a real man right there.
I mean, maybe. I can't see his whole body.
Context. Scientifically,
boy,
it's a real
maybe,
man.
not a man.
Yeah, technically, that's a real man.
How many chromosomes
you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right, just
it's not a man's man, but it's a real man.
All right, we digress, right? We digress. Just listen to what he says.
She tricked me right away. I'll tell you that. She tricked me.
Listen to it. Protect yourself. These men aren't shit. They're not shit. I am so sick and tired of nurturing these broken men who literally have nothing to offer but stress and heartache. I am done. We may not be able to give you a biological baby, but no matter what, the love that we give to certain people in our lives will fulfill that more than blood. Because you know why? Our community has proven that time and time again. I don't need a man who is basing love off science. And for that, I am done. I am done giving my love to these men.
So he's going to go back to women? You're going to turn back into a man?
Bro, I don't know.
All right, so first of all, if you were looking for love is honesty also. And if you want to find honest love, you got to be honest with them. And tell, hey, I was a man once upon a time. I was instead of Christian, or instead of Christina, I was a Chris. And if they love you for that, then they love you. And she's just looking for the wrong type of man because she's not being honest with them. They don't know anything. Yada.
It sounds like he or she's thinking about going back the other way.
Well, it says you want to find true love, you have to be true about yourself then. So...
Yeah, dude.
That's all that is.
This is a real problem, okay? Because these people, this individual here, I want to make it clear, none of us are here to bash on gay people, right?
No,
but this is a very confused human being, obviously, because because I refuse, right? I refuse.
Whatever.
He is complaining about how men are broken. And he doesn't see the irony in this. That
he's also broken.
As he's crying about it, yeah. He's talking about how the men he's nurturing are broken, okay? He thinks he's a female. He knows he's not because he just admitted he cannot give birth to any children to these men. He didn't say that out of the fact that he knows his uterus is broken or he doesn't have eggs or something. He knows he doesn't carry the scientific, biological necessities to nurture and care for a baby because he has male organs, right? So he's admitting that he's also broken while crying about how men are broken. And it's weird.
Yes, it's very weird.
We see it over and over again. It is hypocritical, honestly, if you want to say it honestly.
It's just, and I'm going to be on the opposite foot, and she...
Oh, you're going...
Well... Respect what people want to be.
I go back and forth between that.
It's just, bro.
If you want to be called a she,
this is the 21st century. There's so much.
Take these headphones off. I'm hot.
People want to be whoever they want to be, and it's just Who cares?
Yeah.
There's 7.5 billion, 8 billion people on this earth. It does not matter.
I can tell this is going to turn into a long episode.
It's not going to be long. As you want to keep it short, we can keep it short.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Who cares about what other people's opinions are? But if you're trying to find love or something like this, like she needs to be honest with the man. If she wants to fall in love with the man, then you need to be honest with them. And
I think she's
just
been honest.
Well, yeah.
There, I said
the men that she's messing with don't want a trans woman. So
yeah,
it is what it is. You're gonna look at today's society and see people's views. You're gonna look at the news that's going on with trans rights or gay rights or trans being kicked out of the military now or all this other stuff. Like it's what do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah,
like literally, what do you think is gonna happen? But then this is also the downfall of man.
Right.
But this person tried to become a woman, right, to get men, and now says done with men. So now what she do? Just like abstinence, I guess, or practice abstinence, right?
Let people do whatever the hell they want.
Become
it's
a
free
eunuch.
country. Last time I checked, still a free country. You can get leg heightening surgery. Why not cut off your dick? Who cares?
Yeah, it's a free country.
Who cares?
I don't care what this individual does with their body. The problem is the mentality.
And this is one person in America with over 300 million people. So 1%, like what is that? 0.0001% of the population.
Oh no, that number's got to be growing in this country.
Well, it's growing, but it's still.
Unless it's social media like the airplane crash effect.
Yeah, it just is what it is. If you can't find a man just because you were once a man, then move on to the next one.
It's just the fact that this person is talking about how men are broken.
Yeah, men ain't broken.
And it's causing...
We just know what we want. We don't want a dude
person,
that was... we don't want a woman that was a dude once upon a time. And if you are looking for someone that wants to accept you, then go find someone.
Yeah.
Just be honest with them.
Don't you think it's strange that
men aren't
broken men are what's causing this person so much problems in their life? It's broken men. There's an irony there.
Yeah, there's an irony. I see your exact argument in this whole person situation, but
you don't see it.
Oh, I see. No, I see. I see your argument. Yeah. Absolutely. They're just blaming everybody else except for themselves. Because it's easier to blame everybody else except for yourself. It's easier to place the blame on them instead of me because I'm perfect. I'm the best human being ever. But no, yeah, it is what it is. Let them cry. They'll get over it.
He did cry.
They'll get over it. In a month, they're going to have another problem that they won't even look upon this situation. Be like,
it'll be misgendering.
And then they're going to be deleting this video in about 2 weeks because I'm like, oh, I was so dumb saying that.
I can't believe we're able to still watch it.
Well,
you
want to keep it a short video or what?
No, forget it. I want to hear Silas's opinion.
Yeah, he's been quiet this whole time. He's still in shock.
There's 4 of us in here.
Or he's listening to my point of view and then his point of view and being like, damn, this guy does know what he's saying.
I've learned something.
But which guy is it?
I've learned something about watching podcasts. Usually people don't want to hear the host talk. They come for the guests. So I'm always on. These are the guests. I want you guys to talk.
Well, you already know how I am.
We've heard what you say.
I'm going to compete your... I always see it the other way around, I feel like. We do have competing opposite thinking ways we think.
So plead the fifth.
That's all right,
You plead the fifth. Silas? Do you care to, or is this putting you on the spot with...
Silent Silas, what do you say?
Approaching this subject gently, and like I said, none of us want to make fun of trans people or gay people or whatever, but just approach it from an objective perspective.
And if you do want to make fun of them, go ahead.
What do you think about this? Do we need to rewatch the video so you have a clear...
I think I grasped what I needed to grasp in the bit that we did watch. I think we watched all of it.
Yeah, that was all of it.
I agree with some of what Jordan already said, which is that people are allowed to do what they want. It's a free country. As to the question of whether or not a man can become a woman, I don't see that there's any scientific evidence for that. And I think the fact that men are not attracted to that is partially based in the purpose for the family unit is actually to create families. And you cannot do that in principle with two men. Right. And so it's different than a woman being infertile. Sure. Because that may be something that's impossible incidentally, but it's always something that's possible in principle. A man and woman can have children.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
In principle, two men can never procreate. And so there is something that is unnatural, not to use a harsh term, but not natural about a relationship like that. So that's going to create a lot of problems, and this person's clearly feeling the effects of that.
Yeah. And my view on it, I know I'm talking again, damn, but can I make a point?
Go ahead, make a point.
My view, and I've watched...
All right, point taken.
I've watched several videos of guys who are, this is not like something I'm into or anything, but it just shows up, right? I've watched several videos of guys who are dating trans women or whatever. I guess this is a trans woman.
Trans woman, yeah.
And the guys they'll repeatedly say, I'm not gay though. I consider her a woman, right? So I think what she's running into is a lot of dudes who are more or less experimenting with their own thoughts and feelings about, they just want to play around. So none of them are really looking for a serious relationship. No.
They're just looking
for family.
Yeah, it's kind of more of a lust thing. When you're looking at an individual like this, it's a dude who doesn't really know where he stands, first of all, sexually probably. And he's like, I just want to find out like what's going on with this guy that looks like a girl, and I'm just going to play around. These dudes are not going to offer you any kind of stability, like emotionally.
Because they're probably thinking, I can't get her pregnant.
Right,
so
exactly. We know how guys think, right? Let's not all pretend we don't know how guys think. That's 100% what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's how guys are.
That's the world we live in now these days.
You're going to run in. Yeah.
I know.
You're going to run into a lot of dogs.
Doesn't teach you this stuff, bud.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, you're going to run into a lot of men who are not willing or able to offer you anything. That's the kind of demographic you're with.
Sorry to interrupt you, but some families these days also don't want kids. So that's another thing.
Oh yeah,
sure. But
that's another counterpoint to your opinion as well.
Yeah. But if you think about if we didn't have families, then we would all die. So that has to happen.
Look at Japan.
Yeah,
they're a dwindling population.
I do think the person's right. There are a lot of broken men, though. They just don't know that they're one of them.
And it's valid. They are one of them. This literally is a broken man.
That's a broken person.
If I can define this as a broken man.
Literally and scientifically speaking, yes.
What else? What other definition could there be?
Republican speaking, this is a broken man. Trump.
Well, and here's the thing. I'm a very kind person. And I don't have any issue, being considerate and talking kindly with other people. But when we're talking about truth, I feel like I have an obligation to be kind and not nice. And sometimes being kind involves telling people harsh truths. And that might not be something that they want to hear. It's just me being honest.
It's also something.
And these men
being
should be
honest, and it's
right.
And it's your opinion and scientific evidence. So.
Yeah.
That harsh truth is also something that they can't handle.
Yeah, they don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear their opinion. They don't want to hear it.
They can't handle it.
They just want to hear what they want to hear.
Right. Yeah. That's where the term "my truth" comes from.
No, but the thing is, the problem is that a lot of people, and this is my opinion, but I think a lot of people, people have friends around them that lie to them and coddle
encourage them,
right? And so it emboldens it, so they become more confused, right? If Jared, you tomorrow decided that you were a woman, you would never catch me calling you a woman, no matter what. And I do love you.
You will.
And I do. No, and I won't. It just won't happen. It's just not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Are you saying you would not respect my decision to be a woman?
Would you respect the truth?
No.
Then
I don't want to hear it.
I can't respect your pronouns.
This is what I want. I don't care about your stupid opinion.
Because without the truth, we don't have any common ground.
Wow. I thought you loved me, though.
I do, yeah.
Okay, well, tell me just give in to my little thing here.
But love is not lying.
Call that little?
Love is not lying.
That's a big decision, bro.
Don't you love me? You
That's a big decision, sis.
You want to force me to lie to you?
This is that debate that we're getting into. So
I don't want to do that.
Side knows what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, a truth is important because without truth, we have no common ground.
Nothing.
But what about my feelings?
What about your
Don't
feelings?
you care about your brother's feelings?
Your feelings.
When I become transgender,
Well, okay.
you don't give a damn about how I feel.
Let me ask you this.
I'll hate you if you don't accept me. I'll shun you. I will never talk to you again.
Why can't I identify as 6'9" and play in the NFL?
Because you didn't have a leg extension.
You can. It's a new world.
Right, 6'9"? Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's a
no,
new
but I'm
world.
saying just identify. Like, why can't I declare that? Can I change my height with just what I say, or do I have to get a surgery to actually be 6'9"?
No, because you're talking about a physical change. I'm having a mental change. In my mind, I am now a female. But I don't have to change anything physically. As we see by a lot of these people, these transgender people, they will tell everyone that they're a female, but make no actual physical change.
Well, here's what I will say.
They'll keep the beard.
Regardless of any physical change, you will still not be a female.
Okay, but that's your opinion. In my own head, I'm
How
a female.
is it an opinion?
Because I believe I'm a female.
Opinion is something...
Truth.
I believe I'm a
It's
female,
An
though.
opinion is your feeling without the facts. So once we bring the facts back in, your opinion
But
doesn't
what
matter.
facts?
Say,
What fact?
but what is true?
Can you
All
see
of-
into my own mind?
All of
How do you know I don't have the mind of a woman?
The facts, though.
you can't.
Facts.
Do you
How
have
do
an X-ray? Are you God?
Am I
You can
God?
see into my brain, and
I don't need to
you
see into
know
your
I'm
brain.
a man.
See,
How?
that's an opinion. This is your thoughts.
No, that's
Not the
how I feel, Jordan.
No, yeah.
When I put that wig on
feeling-
and the makeup, I'm finally my true self.
Good
But
for
truth is
Flower.
what? Truth is what you've been taught.
No,
right?
you're-
Is what you think is true. Truth always
There's a
isn't
difference
truth
between
either.
feeling
It's my
yourself
truth.
and being comfortable.
Right?
You're basing truth, by the way,
Off of what you've been
on
taught.
Christian beliefs, and I don't believe in that.
No,
Truth.
not Christian
We're
beliefs.
not even talking about
Lies.
Christian beliefs.
I'm
We're
just talking about mammalian
Yeah, but that's a
Biological
Christian. No,
science.
that's a Christian thing. When
No,
you bring
we're
up
talking about
truth,
biology.
See?
no truth.
Biology.
The word truth.
Oh,
it
so you're a
comes from the
relativist.
Bible.
You're a
Yeah, that's
relativist. Okay, so you believe it's true that you're a woman?
But
I believe I am a woman.
all right,
Okay.
but were you
And
born
do you
with 23
believe-
chromosomes?
And so is that true for everyone?
Science
22?
hasn't caught up with my
Science isn't always
feelings.
true, though, right?
Science is, so you're like ahead of your time scientifically?
Yeah,
Okay.
we are ahead
You
of.
didn't even finish.
There's
high
a good
school. What are you
clip
talking
for
about?
that,
You're not a great
actually.
scientific mind.
All right, so
what
do
are
you
you
are you
talking
standing
about?
up or
Excuse me?
sitting down?
I'm standing up.
Okay. Sometimes
And I have-
sometimes I
I've got
like
a
to
good
sit
clip
down
for you
because
to
I've been
watch
on my
if we
feet all
don't do
day.
during
I
this
sit down and
video.
pee. Feels nice.
What?
I got a good video for you to watch that's actually ties into both of these, Christianity and science.
Really?
Take
And
a
it's
load
good
off,
'cause it's not
bro.
comedy,
Throw
but it's
through
actually pretty good.
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, do some
Send it.
scrolling.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll have to type it in. We can
Right
watch
now?
It. We can watch it after we're done with the video.
We ain't done with this argument though. You're a
Yeah,
woman.
the debate. So
so
you don't accept me being a woman.
so scientifically then,
Do
since,
any of
Well,
you
can you
accept me as a female?
Can you define what?
but
what
you
woman
accepted
is?
yourself as a female.
What's woman?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what we think.
So it doesn't matter what we think.
What's a woman? Yeah, I just don't know what you mean when you say woman.
I know you want me to define woman, and I'm not going to fall into that trap.
It's a trap for me to just ask what you mean.
Yes, because you want.
But we want your opinion.
A
Yeah.
woman is.
You gave us your
a woman
opinion
is a
about
fluid
being a woman.
concept now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Sure.
a very fluent concept. We live in a different world where we are more free thinkers than caged by the prison of religion and the beliefs of science of old.
Sure.
Okay, it's a new world.
Okay.
Woman is a fluid concept. Okay,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
not bound to the terms
So
of
what is-
science that
what
you
is-
hold so dear.
What does a man mean then?
A man is also whatever you decide it to be now.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Can I
If
ask
you
a
want to be a
question?
man, you can be.
Can I be a giraffe?
That's cross species, and although some people do tend to go that route, I don't go that extreme with my beliefs.
Oh, okay.
You know,
What stops you?
some people do identify as cats, and I'll
What
agree
stops
that
you,
they're
though?
a cat.
I don't want to be a cat. I want to be a giraffe.
Well, you look like a giraffe.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate your opinion. I
So
want
I
to
think-
identify as a giraffe.
I think that explains it.
Are you a male or female giraffe?
Because you don't have an actual definition of a woman.
And we're not
so
making fun of. We're just
when
having.
you say woman, you don't
uh,
actually mean
very-
anything, is what you're telling
I
me.
feel attacked.
No, I'm just
no,
using
we're
your
not
definition.
attacking you.
You said it's.
We're just asking you,
You basically
simple
described
questions.
that it's some
We're not-
amorphous term that doesn't really mean anything specific,
We're not
right?
ganging
Now, when
up
I say
on you.
woman,
We're not doing anything.
I mean
So, all right, here. You know what?
an
Fine.
adult female
Jared
of the
wants to
species.
be a woman.
Right.
How you doing, ma'am? Why are you attacking this woman that way?
Why am I attacking her?
Why are you attacking her?
How have I attacked her? I've been sitting here just
You've
talking.
literally
You won't
asked her.
agree to
You've
my
asked her
Gender specific.
You know what you need to
identify
tell 'em? Just tell them they're broken, man.
what makes her identify as a woman. When it does not matter, she's a woman.
It's your opinion that it doesn't matter.
It does not matter what my opinion is.
That's
You
what I'm
also have
saying.
an
It matters
opinion.
what her opinion is, and she's
Oh
a
my.
woman now.
Opinions, by definition, don't matter that much, though.
It doesn't.
What? My
We could do
opinion
facts.
doesn't matter that
Facts
I'm a
don't-
female?
Your opinion matters, sweetie. Don't
Thank
worry.
you.
It
Yes,
doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't
you.
trump evidence, though.
It doesn't matter.
You're a bigot.
He is a bigot.
Sure. I'll be the bigot. Yeah,
Shame
I'll be
on
right,
you for not accepting.
And I'll
my
be a bigot.
lifestyle.
Shame.
and you can be
Shame.
heroes, and you can be wrong. How's that sound?
We're
I'm
the
a
heroes.
woman.
Hey, we're the heroes.
Yeah.
You hear him? We
Yeah.
won.
I'm a
You
woman.
can identify
We-
as the heroes. How
We
about
won.
that?
I'm a woman
See,
and you're a
2-on-1,
bigot.
and he already gave up.
Yeah, identify as the heroes. You're not correct, like at any level, technically.
Technically.
So
Okay, I'm back to being Jared.
yeah,
All right, sounds good, bro.
your boy came in clutch for you though.
I did come in clutch, bro. I got you, man.
This
Don't
was an
worry, bro.
interesting
Like it was so
conversation.
crazy when he shifted on me. I was like, oh okay.
I was like, all right, you know what? I gotta respect them.
Skis.
Her.
What do you think? Skis. Let me ask you a question.
We're gonna do more of these debates, by the way.
Yeah, we should. I don't want to take this
Be
too long. I just want to
2-on-2?
ask you a
Oh,
question.
we could do that. Absolutely. I could go with that.
I'll actually ask it to the room.
He's smart.
Go
I
ahead.
like
You got
this kid.
5 minutes.
If I actually said I'm a woman, would you believe me, Skis?
If
I
you
love how
said it,
people call
Yeah.
them skis.
Yeah,
no.
you wouldn't believe me.
At this point, no.
So
Why
would you
not,
believe that
Errol?
person?
Are you a bigot?
Would I believe they believe they're a woman? Yeah, just based on.
That's different than what I asked, though.
Yes, I would believe that's a woman. No, you're not a woman.
So you'd believe that's a woman,
Yes.
right? Even though you know that it's not.
Now I know since they shared their opinion upon me.
Right.
If you just saw them I even just.
Now
if
Well, I'm
you-
asking
hold
a
on,
different
hold on.
question.
Now-
I'm not asking
now
is that
I know-
person passable.
You're saying if
would
I
you
just
be
saw
able to
him
tell
walking
by
down
the
the
look?
No,
street?
I thought that was a woman this whole
Yeah,
time.
no, I mean,
So-
I would have
Do I
he's
believe
done a
that's a
good
woman?
job
I-
looking feminine from what I can see here.
No, I
Yeah.
still wouldn't believe that's a woman.
I believe.
If I just saw her walking down the street,
Like literally
that's
before we
her.
even played the video, I was like, "Oh, what she complained."
I figured it was
a man
before you played the video.
Going to be.
Yeah.
I thought it
that at
was.
all,
I knew,
so.
but I know Jared.
It's just to me.
I was like, that's a dude for sure.
He's going to
I know
throw
what
a
he's gonna
counter
try.
punch in here.
Yeah.
But if you want to become a woman all of a sudden, no, I'm not going to believe you. You want to know why? Because I knew you 20 years ago.
Do I believe
15
there are
why?
men that are women walking
I think
around that
that's
look
the
like
issue I have
women?
with it,
For
is the
sure.
inconsistency in the logic, because it's not looking like a woman that makes you a woman. It's not having female body anatomy that makes you a woman. It's just whatever I say.
Yeah.
At any moment.
So whatever I say,
do.
and not
And-
whatever I say, but physical appearance as well.
Because there's dudes,
So-
it's like women out there that look better than some women. I'm just saying.
Some dudes out there, yeah.
And I do
You wouldn't be able
have,
to tell unless they told you.
Yeah.
I do have
Which is wild.
an opinion
Like
about
this one,
that.
I wouldn't
Like-
have known. I did not know until she
Blair
said
White,
something.
Right.
yeah.
She said something about it. So.
Wow. Any new names too? First and last, brother.
Political figure,
You've
too.
been seeing videos, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, my
like him.
opinion of it
He's
is
smart, dude.
my
I
my
like this
opinion.
kid. He grew up to be a smart little feller. You're
He's
a fart
Jackson.
smeller, ain't
He's
you?
a Jackson.
He's smarter than you.
He's a Jackson.
How about that? How do you feel about it? He's a woman. Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Here's how I feel about that, right?
Thank
okay.
you.
It's hard to argue with an individual who thinks that they're a woman, because I believe that inside they truly do have those feelings.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very apparent by
Yeah.
some of the links they'll go to
Mentality, yeah.
become a woman. Dudes have chopped off their members, tucked them up inside. They'll go through the craziest things, right? Because
How
it's how they
long do you
feel.
think this person believed they were a woman before doing everything else to their
That's-
body to this point to get that far?
That's a good question.
So
I
they
don't know.
obviously believe.
Probably a long time.
Like there are some men that just believe as much in God that they were supposed to be a woman.
Yeah, we're very imperfect
So
creatures.
Yeah.
And sometimes the wires can get... It's like guys that have foot fetishes. Like feet are not... It's not a sexy thing if in reality,
It's
if you
just-
think
Some
about it.
It
But
is
a
what
lot
it
of
is.
dudes
People
are
are
turned
different.
on by
So-
feet. Including, like, I appreciate a woman's good-looking feet, right?
If
It's
they
not-
take care of them,
right.
I'm saying. But
But like some dudes will literally get on the ground and
you like
kiss
feet?
They're kissing. They're like getting smashed. They have these like our brains are all wired. You know, the wires connect in a certain way, and if they're off by a little bit, you get screwed, bro. You turn into something like that's unreal in society. So I believe
But it's real. It's right there.
Yeah. So when people
She's
have
right there.
right when
It's
people
not-
have
it's not
these
fake.
debates, yeah, when people have these debates where it's like, well, you're not a woman, and they say, yes, I am. We all understand. We all know you're not a woman, including you, probably. But you do truly think you are. And I believe you truly think you are, too. And then it's like we're just arguing over me wanting to convince you that, no, you're a man when you feel like you're a woman. But I'm telling you, no, you're a man. You know you're a man. You really do. But you feel like a woman. So it's this whole back and forth. That's why when people have these debates, I feel like it's such a waste of valuable air to try to tell someone like this, hey, you're a woman. They're like, or you're a man. They're like, no, I'm a woman. You're like, no, scientifically, you're a man. Yeah. They're like, deep down inside, you know, they have to think, I know I'm a fucking man, you idiot. I see the penis. I feel like a woman, though. My brain, something is changed in there, right?
Well, and I think
and I genuinely believe wires get crossed.
I think you're onto something there, because I think there is a certain number of these individuals that are actually plagued with a mental disorder. I think that's a real possibility, because this is it's abnormal for most people, and so there may be some people that are aware of it and they know that they're pretending and they're going along with something, and then there are people that are actually convinced themselves.
Convinced themselves, or they just
are creeps.
Well, that's one way to put it, but that's how they convinced themselves. They were brought up that way. They were mentally fortified and given the like the inspiration or the backing, encouragement. Thank you. The encouragement to be the person they want to be. So other than that, they don't go. They've always been encouraged to do what they want to do, to be who they want to be, to say what they want to say, and then they meet the resilience of it. They meet other people's opinions. Mm-hmm. They meet the backlash of it from society in general, and they don't want to hear it.
You can get the conspiracy side of it too.
They just don't want to hear it because they've been raised. They've have this perspective, and everyone else has fortified their perspective of how they are physically, mentally, emotionally, everything, and then they hit backlash. Right. So this is what happens.
So what about like all the stuff in TV? I mean, so do you like let's get to the conspiracy side of it. Maybe not always either, right? But your subliminal messaging through like the way shows and stuff are nowadays too, and some of that. And I want to go into like going back even to Vietnam War. Like you got people that had kids after that. There's times, I don't know, I'm trying to say too much at once.
Asian Orange.
We want to go, no, but experimental drugs were given to military people. Chad even said like somebody we know that's in the military.
Yeah, that was during the CIA operations, the acid and everything, yeah.
I mean, I'd like to take DNA, a blood sample from people 100 years ago to today, like say even through the same bloodline. I don't know how that works, but I mean, how altered is like the DNA over time with drugs and like the stuff people take. So I mean, I feel like it attributes to some of that. When people having kids and taking drugs and birth control and all that. I mean, you can go to the Christian side of it, right? Where like you're introducing stuff into what was naturally supposed to happen, and now you're throwing other stuff into it that was never meant to be there in the first place.
Sure. You know, and it's also
the world we live in these days. So
and it's also this thing, right? Men and women are very similar. You know, we're different in a few ways, you know, but physically, you know, I've seen a man from behind before and thought that was a woman, and he was not. He wasn't feminine at all. When he turned around, he was a straight up man. Right?
Like, goddamn, you tricked me.
So it's like I can see a monkey in the zoo and see human features in that monkey, right? So it's not a far stretch to think that if you're born and your brain has to form a specific way for you to be attracted to men, or a specific way for you to be attracted to women, that one wire or those few, whatever it is, you know, have to be connected properly. And if they just get a little bit twisted, you might be confused. You know, that's
and then
very
you're confused,
easy
and then
to
all
come
of a
to that
sudden, into
conclusion.
today's standards, you're the freak.
Yeah,
You're a freak.
Yeah, and I think it's a
So,
waste of oxygen.
It is a
really.
waste of oxygen. It's America.
To try
Do whatever
to-
the hell you want to do.
Right.
It's a free country. You can chop off your dick if you want. You can grow a dick if you want. If you have a vagina,
Sure.
Who cares?
Sure.
At the end of the day, are you going to lose any sleep over this video?
No, it's a waste of.
Are you?
It's a great
Are you?
debate to have,
No,
right?
It does not matter.
It's a great debate
Their
to
opinion,
have.
not going to lose no sleep.
But yeah,
I'm
if I
fine
saw
with it.
someone in this, I wouldn't necessarily try to convince them that they're a man.
No.
I would never. I don't see myself ever.
Let them do
doing
what they
that.
want
It's
to
one
do.
less man trying to take women.
If they don't want to be honest with other men and find
Let's put
true
it
love,
that way.
it is
Right.
what it is.
However,
They're hiding their own facts. So.
I do I know we need to wrap this up, so I'm sorry, Jared.
No, go ahead.
just wanted to
it's
say-
a 30-minute
we're
video
past
I
already.
just wanted to say one more thing.
We're 30 minutes, but
At a micro level, to me, like, I'm all about letting people do what they want, like unapologetically, like you do you. And obviously that has to be balanced with, you know, laws and ethics. Like, you can't do whatever you want. You can't infringe on other people's rights necessarily. But there is a certain point where the standard of truth and the standard of evidence gets so diluted that it becomes dangerous for society.
yeah, that's
Because
Yes, it does.
I think there's a lot of impressionable people that could be hurt by something that isn't true. And I don't think that's of a net benefit.
yeah, yep. We also have a duty to try to preserve civilization, and you know, and I mean, being someone who does believe in God, right? I also, when I say something like, "Oh, I would never try to convince this person they're a man," you know, that's without them coming to me and asking me for my opinion, right? People will just go up and attack these people in public for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ask you for your opinion. They don't want to hear it, but you'll go up and attack them and tell them, you know, Jesus will save you.
Mm-hmm.
You need to repent. Like, I don't think God wants us to do that either, right? If someone comes to you and asks you for help, then you help them and you offer your advice, right? But other than that, you shouldn't be attacking people for
No, but they'll attack you too, right? Like,
And
this
then
person would.
defend yourself,
If you were
right?
talking to your friend about something, like, they would come right up to you
Right.
and make sure to let you know.
Yeah,
for
and then
sure.
you have an obligation to defend
Their
yourself.
opinion against your opinion.
Yeah.
So this will be always a constant
And there's
battle, if you want to call it.
well, how many
Oh,
of
there's bigger
us,
problems in this world, so
It's-
F
yeah,
this.
exactly.
How many
That's
of
what
us
there's
knows a
wars
gay
going on.
person?
Well, I'm sure everyone's met one.
Everybody. So it's a little bit more now. Like I said earlier, this might be like the airplane effect thing, where airplanes were crashing and they were reporting them on the news, and we thought every airplane was crashing, but turns out this year it wasn't more planes than last year that were crashing. They were just reporting on it more. So we see this all the time on social media now, and we're all starting to panic because it's every TV show now. They're putting in stuff in there
Everybody can record videos these days. so.
Every video, we're seeing it more and more, and you can say, "Oh, this is just like the airplane effect, where they're just reporting on it more. It's just 1% of America." But you can also sit in a room with 4 people, and they say, "How many of you know a gay person?" And they raise their hand. Everybody, right?
50 years ago?
So it's a lot bigger
No one to raise their
now
hand, probably.
than we think it is. I think the number's a lot more than 1%
Oh, yeah.
of America's population is going this direction. So like Silas said, you know, we have an obligation to, I don't know, try to
Uphold the
some
truth.
kind of truth. You know, and truth might be a hard pill to swallow sometimes, you know. You have to tell people the truth. It's better than
Population
lying to
of
them.
the adult population in the U.S. is LGBTQ plus, which represents 5.5% of adult population. So
Okay. I'll accept that more than 1%, you know?
Mhm.
I don't think they're
13.9
happy.
million
I don't
people,
think a lot of them are
technically.
happy.
Some
honestly.
for sure. They just looking for somewhere to go, right?
Yeah, I think maybe their wires are a little bit crossed. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe, well,
Well, I think some of it too. Like, some people
think
get abused and stuff as children.
you have
right?
different attractions.
You get that, too.
Yeah, you're a different human being.
So I mean, so like us, I'm assuming most of us never really had to go through anything like that. Some people are getting by their dads or their uncles
Sure.
or stuff like that.
Sure.
And I feel like some of that attributes to some of that too. Not that it should, but they're obviously like mentally messed up in the head since a child.
Past trauma,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, there's something different here, man. It's more, it's deeper than we all think it is. I think it's a spiritual thing, bro. Nobody wants to admit that either. There's a darkness on this planet.
We all just want to be accepted.
Yeah, everybody just wants to be loved. And also, this has been going on since the beginning of time, right?
Love is God. Love is God.
God is love.
God is love. There you go.
But God will kill you, and He'll also burn you in hell for eternity.
Well, that's true.
My commandments, right? Boy, we just podcast, boys.
Going on and on and on.
Does anybody,
I even reminded you 20 minutes ago that this is a short video, right?
Does anybody have anything else they want to say about this specifically?
Yeah, do what you want to do. It's America.
Jordan, you're of the opinion, do what you want to do. I'm of the opinion that this individual doesn't see the irony of their situation.
Yeah.
Obviously. Because they're talking about how broken men are. And that's crazy.
I feel like there's bigger problems in this world right now than to even like think about this right now.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing.
No,
right?
I'm not saying it's not a problem,
then.
but
it's not like
honest.
right.
That's
It's
all
to
it
the
is.
side, man.
Honesty.
Deal with something else
So,
first.
This conversation is not us. We just went and found a trans person and we just started hating and bashing on them. This person uploaded this video for the world
They
to
did
see.
it to themselves.
So we're just critiquing it. Okay, you want feedback? I'll give you feedback.
What's
Here
your
it is.
feedback?
I think you're confused
All right.
and you're off track. Your
All
whole
right.
life is off track.
All right,
you don't understand what's happening. You can't see. You're looking in the mirror and you don't even see yourself.
My feedback is just be honest. If you want to find true love is honesty. And you got to be honest with the other dude. Just be honest. If you want to be messed up in the
we
head,
talked about this though.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
messing around with dudes that have
She's-
nothing to offer.
Yeah,
They're in their own little phase of gayness.
Yeah, because
More than
they
likely.
want biological children. But that's just
Maybe.
Maybe she's not being honest. Maybe she is being honest, and they're like, "Oh,
Some dude probably just told her that because he's just like, that was his way out.
Yeah, he
like-
wanted to hit. Guys are dogs, bro. Guys are dogs. They'll lie.
It's like, oh, you can't have kids. I'm down with it. Man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Closing thoughts. Si's analyzing this conversation.
The whole conversation. Be quiet this whole time.
Closing thoughts, Silas.
I think it's important to be kind,
Yes.
and I think it's important to be gentle when you have disagreements. But I don't think any of us, even if we ask for it, want any kind of kindness that is a lie. And so we do have an obligation to tell the truth,
Yeah.
even if that hurts.
Yeah.
I accept all kinds of truths that make me uncomfortable.
Right.
That's the way it is.
I agree with that.
Because people think of truth as a cage because there's nothing you can do about it and you feel like you're stuck. But really, truth is the ground beneath your feet. And it couldn't support you if it didn't resist your weight. And say, no, you can't fall, but you have to stand here.
Yeah.
That's what the truth is.
Yeah.
So,
That's a tough pill to swallow for people who don't accept the truth. Tell them the truth and they don't accept it. That's why the conversation is so difficult with people like this, because the truth is nowhere near them and they don't want to see it. So yeah, let's all be kind, but be stern and tell them the truth. That's a good luck, you know? It's like, good luck.
What's cooler than that?
Well, keep it simple, stupid.